disturbance is removed, the body can't come back to its original position. Net force. The net force of the acceleration will be to 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. But the angle between them is 2 theta. Hi students, welcome to my channel Doctor's Physics. In this video we are going to see about the equilibrium concept and the advanced problems in Coulomb's law. Okay, see here. What is equilibrium? When I will say the body is in equilibrium, say me. Already I showed you about this equilibrium in 11th class. Say me. When I will say the body is in equilibrium, I will say the body is in equilibrium when the net force acting on the body is 0 as well as the net torque acting on the body must be 0. That means both the net force must be equal to 0 as well as the net torque must be equal to 0. When the net force and net torque acting on the bodies are 0, then I will say the body is in equilibrium. Both has to be satisfied. If net force is equal to 0, then I will say the body is in translational equilibrium. When the net torque is equal to 0, then I will say the body is in rotational equilibrium. When both are satisfied, when the body is in both translational equilibrium as well as rotational equilibrium, then I will say simply as the body is in equilibrium. That means in the question, if they have told that body is in equilibrium, the body A is in equilibrium, that means the net force equal to 0 as well as the net torque acting on the body is 0. If they told in the question, the body is in translational equilibrium, that means the net force equal to 0 and I don't know anything about the net torque. Net torque may be 0 or may not be 0. But the net force is 0. Okay, well and good. Equilibrium means net force and net torque must be equal to 0. Now how many types of equilibriums are there? First one, stable equilibrium. Second one, unstable equilibrium. And third one, neutral equilibrium. What is stable equilibrium? What is unstable? What is neutral equilibrium here? Assume this is a condition. I kept a ball here. And I kept one more ball here. And I kept one more ball here. Okay, now see here. Equilibrium means whenever is any small disturbance to the body, whenever there is a small disturbance to the body, or when the body is small displaced from the initial position, then the body will come back to its initial position. The body will come back to its original position. Then I will say the body is in equilibrium. And that too, it is a stable equilibrium. That means here, there is some small disturbance to the body. That means I moved the body a little bit upside and I left it. Then what will happen to the ball? The ball will move till here, and when I left it here, what will happen? The body will come back to its original position. That means the body is coming back to its original position once the disturbance is removed. These type of things are nothing but, this type of equilibrium is nothing but stable equilibrium. This type of equilibrium is nothing but stable equilibrium. That means when now the disturbance is removed, the body will come back to its original position. That is stable equilibrium. Now here, say me, if there is a small disturbance, if I move the ball little bit, then what will happen? The body won't stay there. What will happen to the body? The body will start falling down. The body can't come back to its original position. Here, once the body is displaced, the body will come back to its original position. That means I will say the body is in stable equilibrium. Once if I disturb this body, what will happen? The body will fall down. It won't come back. Then I will say this is in unstable equilibrium. That means the body finally it is falling down and it is staying there. It is not moving from here. That means I will say simply the body is in unstable equilibrium. That means the body can't come back to its original position. Once the disturbance is removed, then the body can't come back. Therefore, it is in unstable equilibrium. Now, what is neutral equilibrium? What is the meaning of neutral? By the name itself, you can say whenever is any disturbance to the body, that means I moved the body small distance. Otherwise, there is small disturbance to the body. Where I left the body will stay there itself. That means when I move the ball from here to here, the ball will stay here. It won't come back to its original position, or it won't go far from its original position. It neither come back to its original position nor it won't go from some other position. It will stay there itself. that will be in equilibrium position in the place where I left it. These type of things are nothing but neutral equilibrium. I think these are clear. Stable, unstable, neutral. Here, even if if the disturbance is removed, the body will come back to its initial position, stable. Once the disturbance is removed, the body can't come back to its original position. It can't come back, therefore it is unstable. And here, once the disturbance is removed, the body will stay there itself where the disturbance is removed. If I remove the disturbance here, the body will stay there itself. But if I move this ball small till here, and then if I left it, that means the disturbance is removed, then it won't stay there. It will fall down and it can't come back. If unstable, neutral, stable. Here same, the potential energy, if this is the reference line, if this is the reference line, here the reference line for potential energy is equal to 0 here. No, the H, this is the H. The H is under the reference line, therefore the displacement is negative. What is the potential energy? The potential energy is minus m into H is negative, therefore minus mgh. That means it is negative. Here, if this is the reference line, then this is the height h. Then what is the potential energy? The potential energy is nothing but mgh. Now here, this is the reference line. The potential energy is 0. That means whenever the potential energy is negative, then I will say the body is in stable equilibrium. The body must have negative potential energy, then only it is in stable condition. The more the negative potential energy, the more the stable it is. Now here, whenever the potential energy is positive, if the potential energy is maximum, that means the body is in unstable equilibrium. That means here, simple, this is a spring. If there is a spring, now initially the potential energy of the spring is 0. Now when I elongate the spring and I kept the body here by small distance x, what is the potential energy? The potential energy half k x square. That is the potential energy stored in the spring. Now the potential energy is positive. That means I moved the spring here. Now the potential energy is positive. When I left the body, what will happen? When I left the body, what will happen? The body will rush it back. Now what is the meaning? That means the body is in unstable equilibrium. It is rushing back. That is nothing but when the potential energy is positive, when the potential energy is maximum. When potential energy is maximum, then the body is in unstable equilibrium. When the potential energy is minimum, then the body is in stable equilibrium. When the potential energy is 0, then the body is in neutral equilibrium. These are conditions. Please remember that. This potential energy concept is very important. If the potential energy is negative, if the potential energy is the more minimum the potential energy, the more the stable the body is. If more the potential energy, if the maximum potential energy is there, then the body is in maximum unstable condition. If the potential energy is 0, that means the body is in simply neutral condition. That means neutral equilibrium. This is the equilibrium concept. You can also see the problems in this equilibrium as well as the problems in Coulomb's law. Okay, now see here. Starting we will solve small problems. Now see here. Two charges of each q are separated by a small distance. Now, what must be the charge such that the body will be in equilibrium? That is a simple question. That means they have to find the charge that should be kept in the middle, kept in the center of two charges, so that the system will be in equilibrium. That is the question. Think there are two charges Q and Q, and when there are two charges, what will happen? This charge will exhibit some force on this, and this charge will exhibit some force on that. That means the net force acting on this charge is not 0. There is some force. If there is some force, that means that the body is not in equilibrium. Here also there is some force, that means this charge also not in equilibrium. When I will say these charges are in equilibrium, the net force equal to 0. That means they told there is some charge Q, I am placing some charge Q such that the whole system must be in equilibrium. Now just think what must be the charge of this Q. It must be a positive or it must be a negative charge. Think. Capital Q must be a positive or negative. Think. It must be negative. Why it must be negative? See here. Because of this one, because of this Q, there is some force in this direction. And if it is negative charge, then only the force on this will be in this direction. Because of this repulsion and because of this negative charge, attraction. When I arrange this Q in such a way that this side force exactly equal to this side attraction force, then this charge is in equilibrium. Same, this charge will exhibit some force, repulsion force in this direction, and I have to arrange the Q, negative charge, such that this will exhibit some attractive force in this direction, and both must be same. If both the forces are same, then the net force acting on it is 0. That means the body is in equilibrium condition. Now they have to find the charge. Now what I have to do? See here, if I assume the distance between them is r. Now what is the distance between q and small q? R by 2. Now assume the force is, this is because of this charge, and this is the force because of this charge. When I will say the body is in equilibrium, I will say the body is in equilibrium when both the forces are equal. That means Fq must be equal to F. Now what is the force between these two charges? Same Coulomb's law. Use the Coulomb's law. Same, what is the force between these two charges? That is K Q square by, what is the distance? The distance is R. Must be equal to, what is the force between these two charges? K Q into capital Q by, what is the distance? The distance is nothing but R by 2. R by 2 whole square. KQ cancelled off. What is remaining? Q by R square must be equal to capital Q by R square by 4. When this 4 goes to the numerator, it becomes 4. R square cancelled off. And what is the Q? Q is nothing but Q by 4. The charge Q is nothing but Q by 4. And what is the sign of this? It is a positive charge or negative charge. This Q must be a negative charge. Therefore, it is a negative charge. Therefore, the charge should be kept is how much? Minus Q by 4. When I place this much of charge at the center, then the whole system will be in equilibrium. Because of this repulsion force, because of this attractive force. Therefore, the body system, this charge is in equilibrium. And same, this charge also will be in equilibrium. That means the whole system is in equilibrium. Therefore, the charge I should keep in the middle as minus Q by 4. I think this question is clear. I think this is clear. How to solve the equilibrium problems. Okay, now see the same. See here. Now see here. See the next question. This question is a very simple question. A square of side A and 4 charges kept at the corners. 4 charges kept at the corners. Now they told that find the charge that should be kept at the center. Find the charge that should be kept at the center so that the whole system will be in equilibrium. That's the question. Think, pause the video and you guys try to solve it. There are 4 charges Q and what charge should be kept at the center so that the whole system will be in equilibrium. Think, if you want to find whether the system is in equilibrium or not, first of all you have to find the force on one charge because of the remaining 3 charges. What is the force on one charge? Because of remaining 3 charges. The force will be, because of this charge, the force will be in this direction. Because of this charge, the force will be in this direction. And because of this charge, this one, the force will be in this direction. And the resultant will be in which direction? The resultant of these 3 forces will be in this direction. That is the net force acting on this charge by the remaining these 3 charges. No, there is some force acting on this charge. That means this charge is not in equilibrium. If I left this charge, if there is this charge is not bounded, then what will happen? This charge will move in this direction. That means the net force is not 0. That means the body is not in equilibrium. When I can make it is equilibrium? When the net force acting on is 0, that means there some force is in this direction because of 3 charges. Now I have to apply some force in this direction of same magnitude. I have to apply some force in this direction of same magnitude. Then I will say the body's Q will be in equilibrium condition. When I can apply the force in this direction, how can I apply the force in this direction? Think. I can apply the force in this direction when I keep some charge, negative charge here. If I keep some negative charge, there will be some attractive force in this direction. When that attractive force is same exactly equal to the resultant force, the net force acting on it is 0. Therefore, I have to find this Q. That's all. Now, in previous video already we solved this. What is net force? What is net force because of 3 charges? Okay, now I will see again. Because of this charge, it is K Q square by A square. Because of this charge, it is K Q square by A square. And because of this charge, it is K Q square by 2A square. Why it is 2A square? Because the distance between from this charge to this charge, it is root 2A, diagonal. Root 2A whole square is 2A square. Okay, now resolve the components. I am resolving this force, that is F, along this direction. The angle is 45 degrees. I am resolving this F in 2 components. One is along this direction, another will be along in this direction. Both must be perpendicular. Now what is angle side? It is F cos 45, and along the other side is F sin 45. Now this one also F, because both are of same magnitude. Now this one also I am resolving 2 components. What is the angle? 45 degrees. F angle side is F cos theta, that is F cos 45. Along the other side, that means perpendicular to it, that is F sin theta. And F sin theta and F sin theta are called cancelled off. F sin 45, F sin 45 cancelled off. Why? Both are in opposite and equal magnitude, therefore they are cancelled off. What is net force? The net force acting on the body is K Q square by 2A square, K Q square by 2A square plus F cos 45 plus F cos 45. That is 2 F cos 45 means 1 by root 2. Therefore K Q square by 2A square plus root 2 and 2. If they cancel, what will happen? Root 2. F is how much? K Q square by A square. There is nothing but if I take common K Q square by A square, 1 by 2 plus root 2. There is nothing but K Q square by A square, root 2, 2 root 2 plus 1 by 2. That is the net force acting on one charge because of the remaining 3 charges. And that too in which direction? Along this direction. Okay. Now if you want to know it, how I resolve these components, please see my previous video. In that video I explained clearly. Okay. Well and good. Now I got the net force. What's net force? The net force acting on this charge Q because of this remaining 3 charges, how much? K Q square by A square 2 root 2 plus 1 by 2. That too in this direction. Now what I have to do? I have to keep minus Q in such a way that there will be some attractive force in this direction. Now what is force? I am finding this force. What is this? F is equal to K Q small q. Now what is the distance? The whole is root 2a, but these are the center, therefore it is root 2a by 2. Root 2a is a diagonal and this distance is root 2a by half, that is 2. There is nothing but a by root 2. Therefore a by root 2 whole square, which is nothing but k q small q by a square. Root 2 square is nothing but 2. When this goes to the numerator, it will become 2kq by r square. Now what will happen? The body will be in equilibrium when this side force, that is this is equal to this side force, that is this one. If we equate them, 2kq small q by a square must be equal to this one, that is k q square by a square 2 root 2 plus 1 by 2. Now equate them, find the value of capital Q, that's all. 1 q small q, q cancel of k cancel of a square cancel of. Therefore q is equal to how much? Q by, when this 2 goes that side, it will become 2 into 2 is 4. Q into 2 root 2 plus 1 by 2 into 2 is nothing but 4. And this has to be negative, therefore minus. Therefore, the value of charge I should keep at the center is this much. If I keep this much of charge at the center, then the force, the net force acting on this charge Q will be 0. That means the body is in equilibrium. Therefore, what is the charge? The charge must be this much. That is minus Q 2 root 2 plus 1 by 4. This much charge should be kept at the center so that the body will be in, the whole system will be in equilibrium. I think this is clear. These three charges will apply some force on this charge in this direction. And this minus charge will attract. Therefore, the force will be in this direction. Both are same. Therefore, this charge will be in equilibrium. For that, what must be the charge? This charge must be this much. Therefore, I should keep this much charge to make the system equilibrium. Okay. Now we will see one more small problem. If you want to know how I resolve the components, please refer my previous video. In that everything is given detailedly. Okay. Now see here. One more small problem. Two charges, capital Q and capital Q, are placed along the y-axis, and these two charges are fixed. They are not moved. They are fixed charges and they are placed at a distance. L. They are placed at a distance L from the origin. They are placed at a distance L from the origin. They are fixed. They are not moved. Well and good. Now they told that there is a charge minus Q. There is a charge minus Q which can freely move from minus infinity to infinity. Which can freely move from minus infinity to plus infinity. This x-axis. This Q can freely move from minus infinity to plus infinity. Well and good. Now they have to find the function of force. They have to find the function of force. They have to find the acceleration versus time graph. They have to find the acceleration versus time graph. And third one, they have to find whether this is SHM or not. That is a question. See here, this minus charge and these are plus charge. What will happen? This plus Q will attract this minus Q. In which direction? Assume the arbitrary position of this minus Q charge is somewhere x. This distance is from here to origin. The distance is x. And this minus Q will be attracted by this Q because it is a fixed charges and this is movable. Therefore, the force of attraction will be in this direction, F. And this Q also will attract this charge in this direction. What is the direction? In this direction, that is F. That is minus Q. This minus Q is attracted by two forces, that is F, and these also F, and this x-axis. I think this is clear. Now this is making some angle theta, and this is also making some angle theta. Therefore, theta and theta. Now what is net force? What is net force acting on this charge? Minus Q. The net force acting on this minus Q is how much? If this is F, I am resolving the component, or net force, I am resolving the components along the angle side. F cos theta, along the other side it is F sin theta. And this one also I am resolving into components, F cos theta and F sin theta. Therefore, again F cos theta, and this side is F sin theta. Therefore, these two are equal and opposite. Therefore, they will be cancelled off. What is net force? The net force is F cos theta plus F cos. That is nothing but 2F cos theta. That is the net force acting on the minus Q. What is F? What is F? F is the force between Q and this capital Q. This is the force F. What is the force? K minus Q plus Q by, what is the distance between them? From here to here, what is the distance? What is this distance? Same. Apply the Pythagoras theorem. This one is x and this is L. Therefore, what is the length? This length is x square plus L square. X, this is L. Now, what is this length? So, there is nothing but root of x square plus L square. Therefore, this length is root of x square plus L square. Therefore, root of x square plus L square whole square. That is F. Into what is the cos theta? What is cos theta? This is cos theta. What is cos theta? Cos theta is equal to base. What is the base? Base is nothing but x base by hypotenuse. What is hypotenuse? I think this one. Therefore, cos theta is equal to x by hypotenuse. That is root of x square plus L square. Therefore, keep it here. It is x by root of x square plus L square. What is net force? The net force is 2k q capital Q into x by root of x square plus L square. There is nothing but root is nothing but what is the meaning of root? Root is nothing but power 1 by 2. Therefore, square root whole square is nothing but simply power is 1. Therefore, x square plus L square into, leave it, simply I can write this one as 1 and this one as 1 by power whole power 1 by 2. Under root means whole power 1 by 2. Now, a power 1 into a power 1 by 2. There is nothing but a power 1 plus 1 by 2. That is x square plus L square whole power 1 plus 1 by 2. If bases are same, I can add the powers. Therefore, 1 plus 1 by 2 is nothing but 3 by 2. Now I got it. So what is net force? The net force is minus k q capital Q x by minus 2 k q capital X by x square plus L square whole power 3 by 2. That is net force. I got the formula. Well and good. Now they will find the acceleration versus time graph. Now see how the acceleration will be. How the acceleration will be now see. How the acceleration will be sending. Think. Initially the minus q is here and this is the q and this is q. When the minus q is at infinity, the distance is very large. Therefore, the force we can neglect, we can assume it as 0. Actually, it is not 0, it will be a small value. Therefore, at minus infinity, the force is very small. When because of the force, what will happen to this charge? The charge will start moving towards the origin. Like this, towards the origin. As the charge is moving towards the origin, what is happening? The distance is gradually decreasing. The distance is gradually, x is gradually decreasing. That means x is decreasing. When x is decreasing, the force will increase. That means as this minus q is reaching till a certain limit, the force gradually increases. That means the force gradually, that means from minus infinity to origin. What will happen to the force? The force gradually increases till a limit and then becomes 0 here. At origin, what is the force? Because of this q, the force will be upside, and because of this force, the force will be downwards, equal and opposite forces. Therefore, the force here becomes 0. At origin, the force will become 0. That means, and there is some limit. Till this limit, the force is increasing, and from here, the force is decreasing, and finally becomes 0. Therefore, if the force is increasing, the acceleration is increasing. Therefore, here the acceleration is decreasing. Acceleration is increasing, acceleration is decreasing, that's all. But acceleration is positive. That means overall the velocity of the charge will be gradually increasing. From here till here, the velocity gradually increases. Now, once the body reaches the horizon, what will happen here? The force is 0, acceleration is 0, but the velocity is maximum. Therefore, here the velocity is maximum and acceleration is 0. Okay, from minus infinity to 0, how the graph will be? Acceleration versus time graph. This is acceleration and this is the time. And minus infinity, the force is nearly equal to 0. That means acceleration is nearly equal to 0. And as the body is moving closer, the acceleration gradually increases until a certain limit. Here the acceleration becomes maximum. After that, the force will decrease. That means acceleration decreases and finally becomes 0 here. Therefore, it is becoming 0. And after origin, what will happen here? After origin, what will happen? The body here, the force is 0. Acceleration is 0, but the velocity is maximum. Once the charge crosses this side the force will be in this direction. That means the force, net force will be towards the origin. That means when the body is moving that side, but the force is acting this side. That means the acceleration is negative. That means the acceleration here after origin it becomes negative, but the velocity decreases from here to infinity, 0 to infinity. The velocity decreases because the acceleration is negative. From minus infinity to 0, the force is in positive direction. From 0 to infinity, the force is in negative direction. Therefore, acceleration is negative. Now here also the same graph. Increases speed limit and then gradually the force will decrease and become 0. This is a graph for acceleration versus time graph. Okay. Next one. SHM. They told to find whether the body is in SHM. What is the condition for SHM? The condition for SHM is acceleration must directly proportional to the minus of displacement. Here, what is F net? F net is nothing but mass into acceleration. What is acceleration? Acceleration is nothing but by m. Now, the acceleration is not directly proportional to minus x. It is depending on some other value. A is directly proportional to x by x square plus l square whole power 3 by 2. This is not same. If this is not same, then this body is not SHM. That body is not in SHM, but that is in oscillation. There is a lot of difference between oscillation and SHM. This is not in SHM. For SHM, this must be satisfied. This is not satisfied. Therefore, this body is not in SHM. See here. From here, minus infinity, the velocity gradually decreases. The velocity gradually increases, becoming maximum at origin. Here, the force becoming 0. Again, the velocity gradually decreases and becomes 0. Again, when the body is coming back, again the velocity will increase. And again, from here, the velocity gradually decreases. Again, from here, the velocity gradually increases. That means this is one type of oscillation. But this is not SHM. I think this question is clear. Okay, we'll see the next question. Okay, see this question. A charge Q1 is fixed. Another charge Q2 is at a distance R1 from Q1. That means here, a charge, this is Q1. It is fixed. And the charge Q2 is at a distance R1. Now they told to find the velocity of Q2. This is fixed and this is movable. The velocity of Q2 when it is a distance R2. That means when the distance is R2, the charge Q2 is here. Initially the velocity of the body is 0. Now here the velocity of the body is some value. They told to find this value, velocity V. Why the velocity is changing? Now see here. There is some force by this Q1 on this Q. Therefore the force will be in this direction. When the force is in this direction, slowly this Q2 will start moving in this direction. When the Q2 is moving, what will happen to the distance? The distance is gradually increasing. When the distance is increasing, what will happen to the force? The force is inversely proportional to R square. When the R is increasing, the force will decrease. When the force is decreasing, the acceleration will decrease. That means initially there is some acceleration. As the charge is moving away, the force is decreasing on the charge as well as the acceleration is also decreasing. As the acceleration is decreasing, but it is not negative. Please remember that. Therefore, what will happen? The velocity gradually increases and here the velocity of the body is v. The velocity of the body is v. And it is not a uniform acceleration. That is the point what I want to say. Here the force is F. Here the force is different. That means as the distance is changing, the force will change. That means the acceleration is changing. That means it is not a uniform acceleration. Now what I have to do? See here. What is the force? The force is equal to K, Q1, Q2 by, I am assuming a small arbitrary point between R1 and R2. Somewhere R. Therefore R square. What is the force? Force is nothing but mass into acceleration. What is the acceleration? Acceleration is nothing but K, Q1, Q2 by M R square. What is the acceleration? The acceleration is nothing but dv by dt. Differentiation of velocity with respect to time. There is nothing but I am multiplying with dr and I am dividing with dr. Multiplying with dr and dividing with dr. What is dv by dr? Okay. What is dr by dt? R is nothing but displacement. Dr by dt is nothing but velocity. Therefore, which is nothing but v into dv by dr. Therefore, it is v into dv by dr. Now start doing integration. If you want to find the velocity, now start doing integration. What is that? K, Q1, q2 by m r square into dr is equal to v into dv. Now integration, start doing integration. As the r is changing, here r is changing from r1 to r2. R is changing from r1 to r2. Here the velocity is changing from here to r1. What is velocity? 0. And r2. At r2, what is velocity? It is v. You have to find out that v. As the distance is changing from r1 to r2, the velocity is changing from 0 to v. You have to find that v. Now k q1 q2 by m is constant, therefore it will come out k q1 q2 by m. Integration from 0 to, so not 0, r1 to r2, 1 by r square dr is equal to integration from 0 to v dv. What is integration of v? Integration of v is nothing, v square by 2. What is integration of? Integration of 1 by r square is integration of r power minus 2. That is nothing but r power minus 2 plus 1 by minus 2 plus 1. That is nothing but minus 1 by r. Therefore just keep it here. K q1 q2 by m. Limits are from minus 1 by r. The limits are from r1 to r2. If I reverse the limits, it will become r1 to r2, which is equal to v square by 2. Now find the value of v. What is the value of v? K q1 q2 by m into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2, which is equal to v square by 2. There is nothing but 2k. There is nothing but, if I want to find v is nothing but under root of this value. Therefore the velocity of the body at this distance r2 is nothing but 2k q1 q2 by m into r1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. That is the velocity of the body at distance r2. That's all. Now we will see one more small concept is there. That is nothing but shell theorem. Now we will see that. Now see here, what is shell theorem? Now see what is shell theorem. Shell theorem. Okay, what is shell theorem? What is shell theorem? Okay, see here, what is the first point? According to the shell theorem, the charge present in any charge spherical shell. That means if there is a spherical shell having a charge q, and if any charge is present in this, then the force acting on this charge is 0. The charge present in a charged spherical shell is always equal to 0. If this charge is inside, then the force is 0. First point. Now second point. If the charge is outside, the spherical shell, then what I have to see? See, there is a charge q, and this charge is outside the spherical charge. Now I have to assume this spherical charge, this spherical body as a point-sized object, that is present at the center. That means I have to assume the spherical shell as a point-sized charge, that is q, that is at the center. That means I have to assume the shell as like this, a point-sized that is at the center. Even though it is a spherical shell or even though it is a sphere, solid sphere, for both I have to assume as if the charge is present at the center. And I have to assume this spherical shell body as a point-sized charge. Now that means like this. This is a spherical shell, or it may be a solid sphere. The charge is q and the radius is r. Now one more charge is a distance q, and the distance from the charge, this charge to this body is r. Now I have to assume this one in such a way that this solid sphere is at the center. That means q, that is center, not the distance between the charge. The distance between this charge and this charge is nothing but r plus this r, because I am assuming this body as a point-sized charge, that will present at the center. That means the distance between them is r plus capital R. R plus capital, because I will assume this one body as a point-sized body and having a charge q, and that is present at the center. This is nothing but the shell theorem. First one is the force acting on any charge which is present inside the charged shell is 0. If the charge is outside, then I have to assume the solid shell as a point-sized charge, and that has to be present at the center of the body. This is nothing but the shell theorem. Please remember this. Okay, now we will see one small problem. See this question. Two charges are suspended by two threads and they are separated by a distance 2x due to repulsion. That means here, two charges, they are separated by a distance 2x due to the repulsion. When they are separated, there will be some tension in the string. Therefore, tension in the string is T. And the angle between them is some 2 theta. I am assuming as 2 theta. Now the charge is Q and the mass is F. Now what do you have to find the angle between them? That means I have to find 2 theta. And then find the x. X is nothing but this one. The distance between them is 2x. They have to find the x. And the tension in the string. They have to find the T. Now what I am doing, observe carefully. Now see here. Now if this is 2 theta, then exactly half. What is this? This is theta. Now see here. Because of these two charges, there will be some repulsion force. The repulsion force will be in the line joining them. That means this is the repulsion force direction. What is the repulsion force? F is equal to K Q square by, what is the distance between them? The distance between them is 2x. Therefore 4x square. And now this having some mass. If there is some mass, then the acceleration due to gravity is there. That means there is a gravitational force downwards. Always the weight will act downwards. That is m into g. Now because of this tension, I am taking what I am here. I am resolving this tension into two components, vertical and horizontal. Now if it is theta, then this must be theta. Why? Alternate angles. Therefore the tension along the angle side. The angle side is T cos theta. Along the horizontal side, that means other side, that is T sin theta. Now equate them. T sin theta is equal to F and T cos theta is equal to M G. Now divide them. Tan theta is equal to F by mg. For theta is equal to tan inverse F by mg. But the angle between them is 2 theta. Therefore the angle is 2 theta. There is nothing but 2 into tan inverse F by mg. That is the angle between them. Well and good, I got it. Okay, now what do I have to find? I have to find the x. Now to find the x, I have to find some relation among these things with the x. Now what is the relations here? When the angle theta is very small, then tan theta is equal to sin theta is equal to theta. Do you remember this? When the theta is very small, then I can take it as, when theta is very small, then I can write as tan theta is equal to sin theta. The same thing. I am assuming writing as sin theta. What is sin theta? Sin theta is equal to perpendicular by hypotenuse. Perpendicular is this 2x. What is the perpendicular? This is the length, that is x. The hypotenuse is nothing but length L. Length of the thread. Hypotenuse is nothing but length of the thread. Therefore, sin theta is equal to x by L. Now equate this to the, what will you get? F by mg is equal to x by L. But what is F? F is nothing but k q square by 4x square into mg. Therefore, same this L this side, if it will become L. And same this x square that side, it will become x cube. Therefore, x cube is equal to k square L by 4mg. Therefore, what is x? We have to find x. X is nothing but whole power 1 by 3. That is x value. The value of x is equal to k q square L by 4mg whole power 1 by 3. That is x value. Now, they have to find the tension. Now, from these two, I am finding the tension. First equation, this second equation. I am squaring and adding on both sides. If I squaring and add, t square sin square theta plus t square cos square theta is equal to f square plus mg whole square. Now I am taking t common, t square common. T square is nothing but s square plus c square. Sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to f square plus mg whole square. If what is tension? Sin square theta plus cos square theta is nothing but how much? 1. Therefore the tension is root of f square plus mg whole square. That's all. That is the tension. This is the angle theta. This is x value. And this is the tension in the string. This is in the air medium. In the air medium, what is K? In the air medium, K is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. 1 by 4 by K is nothing but F naught. F naught is nothing but K naught. That is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught in the air medium. These all things are in air medium. Okay. Now, Find the same when the charges are placed inside a liquid of density rho L and dielectric constant K. That means when these two charges are immersing in the liquid, now the values will change. How the values will change? Now we have to find it. Now see here. Now see here. Whenever any object is placed inside a liquid, then the apparent weight, that is apparent weight is equal to mg, that is downward force, minus the buoyancy force, that is buoyancy force. That is apparent weight. If the object is 10 kgs, and if you place that object inside the water, you won't feel it as 10 kgs, you will feel it as 8 kgs. That means apparent weight, because the weight will change due to the buoyancy force. Therefore, the apparent weight is mg minus buoyancy force. That is m is nothing but volume into density of the body is given as rho b into g. What is the buoyancy force? Buoyancy force is nothing but volume v into rho L into g. Rho L is the density of the liquid. Therefore, I am taking v rho b g common. 1 minus rho L by rho b. That is nothing but what v rho b g. It is nothing but mass into acceleration. M into g to 1 minus rho L by rho b. That means when I place the objects inside the liquid, the apparent weight is W dash. Initially it is W, that is m into g. But now the weight is W dash. It is nothing but m into g 1 minus rho L by rho b. Initially it is W, that is weight. Now it is new W, new weight, that is m into g 1 minus rho L by rho b, the apparent weight. This one will study in fluids. Okay, well and good. Now I got the apparent weight. No, initially what is the force? Initially the force is q square 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into 4x square. That is initially the force. Now the new force. What is the new force? Q square 4 pi instead of epsilon naught. For a new force I have to write as epsilon. Epsilon is nothing but epsilon r into epsilon naught. Epsilon r is given as nothing but dielectric constant. Therefore, it is given as k. Therefore, what I can write? Epsilon naught into k 4x square. The whole term is nothing but f. Therefore, f dash is f by k. Now I got the relation. What is f dash? F dash is nothing but f by k. Okay. Now see here, the same thing I am using. This is a tension. This is a mass. Downward force is not mg, it is W dash. W dash is this much. Now this is the force. What is the force? This is not F, it is F dash. This is a tension and this is making some angle theta. Now here also it will be theta. Therefore this is T cos theta and this will be T sin theta. Now equate them. T sin theta is equal to F and T cos theta is equal to W dash. F dash. If I equate them, what you will get? Tan theta is equal to, what is tan? Tan is nothing but F by W dash. Therefore, theta dash is nothing but tan inverse F by W dash. That is a new angle. Because of the change in the weight and because of change in the force, the angle will change. The new angle is this much. Simply the same thing, but only the difference is instead of writing mg, now you have to write mg into 1 minus rho b, rho L by rho b. That's the only the change is that. Now here instead of writing f, I will write f by k. In every formula, just instead of mg, write mg into 1 minus rho L by rho b, and instead of f, write f by k. That is only the difference. The same thing we have to follow. I think this is clear. I think these are enough. And in next video, we will see about the electric field lines and electric field intensity. And if you guys have any doubt, it may from any topic, it may be 11th class topic, it may be 12th class topic, please mention my mail or my WhatsApp number which is given in the description. Within 24 hours, your doubts will be clarified. Thank you.